First Man is a new film directed by Damien Chazelle, and also he was the director of Whiplash and La La Land. Two great movies that were nominated for Oscars at the time. And this film stars Ryan Gosling, Claire Foy, Kyle Chandler, and Jason Clarke, and Vanessa Kirby. This film is a biopic film about Neil Armstrong. This film takes place in 1961 through 1969, leading up to the events of that historic day. A month ago, I had no idea this film was going to come out this year until I saw the trailer, and I was automatically excited when I found out who was a part of the project. Ryan Gosling, of course. He's playing Neil Armstrong, so I was definitely on board. Ryan Gosling's performance, oh my goodness. He did it perfectly in my eyes. He's really good of making the audience like get drawn in his emotion just by looking at his face. He is a really good facial actor. But outside of that, Ryan Gosling really did a good job of conveying both of Armstrong's reserved sensitivity, his courage. Lots of scenes in this movie where Ryan Gosling showed so much emotion and so much like intensity with his performance, and the weight of his performance was like sitting on my soul. It's making me have the feels throughout his performance. Ryan Gosling gave us a really deep performance, and he definitely paid tribute to the late Neil Armstrong. Damien Chazelle did a fantastic job of directing this film. Damien Chazelle used IMAX technology that put us right into the film. So Damien Chazelle did a lot of close-up on the actors' faces, so therefore we can see their emotion like through intense situations. And that right there just makes this movie experience feel so surreal, and their performance feel more realistic, that I just felt like these actors who's portraying these real life people was actually the real people themselves, and Damien Chazelle did a really good job of shifting the camera to that perspective. Damien Chazelle did a really good job of showing Neil Armstrong's personal life, like outside of him being an astronaut, him being a husband, a father, a friend, and it showed all of that, his struggles, his ambitions. Also gotten to a point where I had no idea that the stress levels is very high of being an astronaut. There was like so many things that Damien Chazelle showed that I'm just like, I'm right there just tapped out, and I was like, you know what, I can't do it. There's a lot you got to do to be an astronaut, and the film was unapologetic about it. And another thing I have to point out, that Damien Chazelle did a really good job of not making this film political. The film wasn't like overbearing with people in suits and ties that's talking about, how are we going to do this mathematically here? Or, how are we going to figure this things out? Let's refer to the Secretary of Defense. All that politics stuff was pretty much in the background, but the Cold War and the race with the Soviet Union was acknowledged in this film. This film was definitely an experience because Damien Chazelle used 70mm IMAX cameras, the type of cameras that Christopher Nolan uses in most of his films. And I just felt like when I was watching this film, I was watching a Christopher Nolan film for a second, and I had to do a double take, and I was like, no, this is not Christopher Nolan. This is Damien Chazelle we're talking about. I couldn't compare this film, as this film had the emotional effects of Dunkirk with the visual effects and the score that's quite similar to Interstellar. And the direction style is kind of similar to Interstellar when revolving around them going in space, leading up to them laying on the moon. And that's just amazing. Oh my God. The supporting cast in this film was amazing as well. I think the best supporting cast actress in this film was hands down Claire Foy. I never heard of her. Actually, like my first time actually hearing about her. Well, I did see the trailer of her new film, A Girl Caught in a Spider's Web. I believe that's what it's called. And I saw the first trailer and I was like, who is this broad? But after watching this movie, I'm really sold on Claire Foy, and I'm really intrigued to see what other films she has in her resume. She was amazing, and she played the wife of Neil Armstrong. The film did a really good job of showing her dealing with life without her husband when her husband's away, and the film sometimes shifts to her perspective, so therefore we understand how she's feeling just at emotional level. It's just very high, and Claire Foy definitely is in contention in my eyes for best supporting actress in a movie. She deserves an Oscar for her performance. It's very powerful. very powerful. The other supporting cast members did a really good job with their performance. Not as great as Claire Foy, but they definitely did a good job. Corey Stahl, he played Buzz Aldrin. He did a fantastic job with his performance. There is humor scattered throughout from other characters, and it blended in nicely. Cinematography, the scale, the scope is just immaculate. The cinematography was brilliant. I was just in love with the visuals. It felt like a Christopher Nolan film. He definitely deserves an Oscar for Best Director. And the camera angles he used for the IMAX cameras just made this experience more defined. The score from Justin Hurwitz was just the icing on the cake. It just added more emotional depth to this movie itself. As for the flaws with this film, I would say that there is a directional choice that Damien didn't do in the film. It's when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, he decided to just keep the aspect ratio the same. I think there was an opportunity he could have put the aspect ratio at a full screen depth. It definitely would add more depthness to the scene. It would pop more. And I feel like that was a wasted opportunity. But that right there is only a nitpick. But outside of that, this film was just perfect in my eyes. Yes, I had to give First Man a Ben Affleck Batman-tastic. I had a great time with this film. I was into this film from start to finish. It had the intensity, the scale, the scope was heavy. The film was just weighed, it was just sitting on my heart, and I just had the feels like scattered throughout. It's just an emotional roller coaster throughout, and the visuals is just the icing on the cake. It's just pure sex. Yes, I urge you guys to check out First Man, and you will be blown away with the visuals and the performances. You will have a good time with this film. Guys, and that's my review of First Man. Have you seen First Man? Give me your thoughts, comment below, and let's talk about it. If you like everything you see and you agree, click right here, join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.